people must understand that the old days are gone forever. They're not coming back. Those who have been waiting for a revival, you will see a revival of the supernatural power of God. But God is literally shutting down this country. He's bringing down this country. The globalists can think it's all them, but he uses the wicked and the devices of the wicked to bring judgment upon them. You know, Doug, I'm no fan of sports. You know that. I've been teased or mocked because, you know, I could care less about one form of ball or the other, you know.
I'm with you.
And the point is, though, I did say this, and you remember it was on your show. And again, Doug, from the bottom of my heart, which I happen to have one, contrary to some people's thoughts, I thank you for giving me the forum you've given me to address the people around the world of the things that God has shown me 25 years ago. I'm on record. They can argue. They can say I'm a fake, whatever. That's irrelevant. But there will be the greatest outpouring amongst the greatest travail and turmoil that the United States is about to experience. And it is in the background. It was obvious, the evidence, that treason, treachery, murder, and every illegal, inconceivable, immoral, garbage events was going on in the world of politics. And the people of God didn't rise up because they trusted QAnonymous, okay? The question mark. They might as well, you know, who was it that wore a question mark? The Joker on Batman? So this is no comic book event we're coming into. This is no video game virtual world we're coming into. There is no reset that when you're dead. And if you haven't chosen rightly for Jesus Christ, I got news for you. You will unimaginably experience horrors beyond your sight. When I was praying about this morning, Doug, coming on, and again, thank you, Eric, for everything you've done. We're at a time where who's going to come to our rescue? If everybody in Congress, with few exceptions, is on somebody's payroll, like somebody once said, we have the best government money can buy, because we're either dealing with politicians who are being blackmailed, who are being bought off, who have been bought off, or have been threatened to and be destroyed with their whole families. We are, if you will, because of our lack of gratefulness and our turning away from the living God, we are what's becoming the evil empire in the world's eyes, and they will come to take a spoil of the United States. Everybody wants a piece of the U.S. The people that occupy the farmlands, whether it's the Chinese, Russians, whoever, everybody wants their piece of America. So we're at a very perplexing point in history today. We've been told, and rightly so, that EMP can be a major issue. And it can be a major issue, but it can also be tracked back by delivery systems, by technology. There's a lot of ways you can track it. Now, a cyber attack coordinated between multi-countries, focused and bouncing off and doing all the things that cyber attack warriors do, is hard to trace, and it's harder to trace, and it's more difficult to pay back. Now, what I'm being told, you know, the headlines the other day is everybody's being prepped for, you know, a grid down, repeated warning, Hal Turner and others, by the way, the Electrical Research Council. I mean, everybody out there is warning about it, but grid down coming, prepare immediately. That was the headline. So I reached out to an electrical engineer friend of mine who's out of country, scientist, by the way, and I said, go out and ask your friends. And they have a friend network of everybody who's left the country, expat scientists who basically are out of the country or they'd be killed. And I'll get to some other stuff in a minute in the show, but let's get into it right now. The expected attack is going to come from Iran and North Korea and maybe one or two other rogue states at the same time. It's been stated that Kim Jong-un now with his intercontinental ballistic missile can literally, and this was what I'm told, the exact statement, there is a coordinated effort. If you were to put the United States in a giant bowl and show radios coming off of everybody who hates our guts, including former NATO members and all the secret agreements. By the way, Dave Hodges, again, kudos. The Chinese really are in Canada, and if any of you people say that's BS, then you're in denial, and you're probably going to die, or you're probably going to be called comrade the rest of your life. They're in Mexico. They're in this country, 750,000. the premier of China, president of China, whatever you want to call him, basically just cut off all internet access to the outside world. And that's because, ladies and gentlemen, he knows what's going on even in the riots in Beijing. China's getting their butts kicked by India up on the Ladakh region. China's even getting Pakistan pilots, or allowing Pakistan pilots to pilot jet aircraft that China provides, and they're getting shot down by India. And, again, I want you to understand something. This is all in anticipation of an attack. I do not have the date. I believe that God is so astonishingly forgiving and miraculous in his mercy that he'll give everyone their last opportunity to either accept the Lord Jesus. The global Satanists have called for a 1 million child sacrifice. Well, how can I know that? I can only know that because somebody who has access to their communications tells me that. So I don't think people even get it. And I posted a story today, and I want people to go and look at it. It's really important. How long have Christians dabbled in the occult? Every time they sent little Johnny or Jilly out on Halloween, well, it's harmless. No, it isn't. Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan, said, well, he's glad before he died. He's glad that at least Christians celebrate Satan one day a year. Interesting statement, isn't it? And isn't it interesting that this year, the global, if you will, I would call it Lucistocracy, and I can't do that one. Devilocracy, okay? Devilocracy, new word there, Devilocracy, is preparing for the grand event, the Annunciation. They call the devil the Great One. The Great One is about to make his appearance, but in order to do that, there must be massive innocent bloodshed.